こう見えてもスペルができない英単語がいくつかありますこの動画を作ろうと思った理由は、間違っても大丈夫ということを伝えたいからですね。完璧じゃなくてもなんとかなるという気持ちでこの動画を撮ってます。スペルというのはとても大切なことだと思ってますが、正直な話、私はね得意な方なんですよ。でもやっぱり年齢に関係なくどうしてもスペルができない単語がいくつかあります何度も覚えようとしてももう無理です。覚えられない単語が書けない単語がいくつかあります。書いてもね、そうだったんだね、何でも確認する単語があるんですよどうしましょう。今回はその単語を10個を紹介しますね。別にアメリカ式スペルとイギリス式スペルとは全く関係ないですね。ただただスペルは覚えられないですちょっとだけ恥ずかしい気持ちがありますが、皆さんのために頑張りますAlrighty, so here's how this is going to work. I want to write the words on the whiteboard, but if I see the word in English, then it'll kind of be like cheating because I'll see the proper way it should be spelled. So, in order to combat that, I've written the words out in katakana in my computer. So, I'll know the word, but it won't give me any hints of how it should be spelled. Okay, does that make sense? So I've got them in katakana in my computer and I'll look at it and then I'll try and spell it here and see if you can, see my mistakes. Okay, so the first word, as you can see here, is diarrhea. Get it? I can never spell this word, so let's give it a try. Diarrhea.
Diarrhea.
Diarrhea. So I think that's maybe okay. Let's check. So I've got here got my word cards here, and here I've got the full spelling here. So, so you can see that is the correct spelling, and this is my spelling. So it should have been Diarrhea. So I got this part here was all messed up. So I don't know, it sounds fine, diarrhea. So just one of those words, but I don't write it so often, I must admit, but I get it wrong all the time. Next word up is occasionally. Occasionally. It seems really funny to see here in katakana, but I don't want to see the spelling. So let's give it a try. Occasionally.
Occasionally.
Now, I think that seems pretty all right. It looks good. So let's check with my word cards here. Okay. You can see there's only one S. Occasionally. So you can see the mistake I made there. I thought there was two S's. Because there's two C's and there's two L's, somehow my brain thinks there's got to be two S's. Two, and two. But there's only one. Okay, the next one we got up here is independent. Independent. Seems easy, doesn't it? Independent, okay?
Independent.
Like a pendant, independent. Let's check it out. What is the word? How is it really? Okay, I've got to remember it's all E's. So it really should be independent. So I quite often make the mistake with this A, or sometimes this E, I make a mistake with A and E. It's kind of confusing for me. So, yeah, what I have to remember in spelling independent is it's all E's. There's no A's in independent. Next one is separately. 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 This is one that always gets me. Separately. 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 What do you think? Is that correct? Let's check my little word cards here. Okay, so I've misspelled this one.
Separately.
Okay, so you can see where I'm going wrong here. Again, it's an E and an A thing with me especially. That's one of my weak points. So it should be an A. Everything else was okay, but it's just one letter separately. Sounds the same to me, separately, but just can't get it. Okay, the next word up is embarrassed. Embarrassed. This is a tricky one for me too. Embarrassed. Embarrassed. It seems funny again seeing this in katakana. Embarrassed. Embarrassed. Let's give it a try.
Embarrassed. Two S's, one S, two S's. Let's go for two. Embarrassed.
That looks pretty good to me. Let me just check here. It's the E and A thing with me, isn't it? Let me just write that down. So, embarrassed. Again, the E is the big failing point for me. Embarrassed. It should be an A. It sounds almost the same. Embarrassed. Embarrassed. What's the difference? It's just a spelling mistake. Okay, the sixth one I've chosen in my top 10 most difficult words to spell is Buddhist. Buddhist. Now, I know there's an H in there somewhere, but I can never remember where it goes. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm pretty confident that's the way it's spelled. Buddhist.
Buddhist.
Completely wrong. See, the H, there's always one letter which I can never remember where it goes. So the correct spelling is Buddhist. So this H here should be going over here. Okay, the next word is interpreter. Interpreter. Sounds pretty simple. Let's give it a bash.
Interpreter.
What do you think? Look good? Interpreter. It's another E. Oh.
Interpreter.
So I put an O there when actually it should be an E. It makes sense when I see it like this. Actually, it makes complete sense. But interpreter sound very similar, but that's spelling for you. Rhythm. I hate this word. This is my nemesis. I can never get this one. So I quite often use this word when I'm writing my children's lessons report cards to talk about the rhythm of speech and stuff. But I always make a mistake with spelling with this one. Let's give it a try.
Rhythm. Yep. Rhythm is spelled
like this. This is the actual spelling. Oh. There's two H's in there, two H's. So it should be RHYTHM. So there should be an extra H in here. Rhythm. Rhythm. Now, until the day I die, I'll never get this one. Rhythm. Character. Pretty easy, eh? We always say character this and character that. It's a very simple word, but...
Character. 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 Character.
There you go. That's how it should be spelt. So, character. Why does it not have a CH there, but it has a CH here? I'll never get that. Character is CHARACTER. You don't need this extra H, and I'll never remember that. The next one up I've got is entrepreneur. Now maybe American pronunciation is a little bit different, like entrepreneur or something, but British people say entrepreneur, closer to the French word because it actually comes from the French language. So the spelling is kind of tricky if you're not familiar with French. So let's try entrepreneur. Entrepreneur.
Entre.
This looks good so far.
Entrepreneur. 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 Entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur. I'm not too confident with this one at all.
Entrepreneur. Entre.
No. Oh, that's correct. Oh, that's correct. Entrepreneur. Let's just check that. Entrepreneur. Oh. Now, entrepreneur. I thought this is one of the most difficult words. Maybe I'm good at French. Entrepreneur. I got 1 out of 10. Not too bad, eh? So, as you can see, those are the 10 words that always trip me up. I can never remember how to spell them. I'm so thankful that I've got spell check in my computer. It really helps me out. But I don't know, maybe I've got some kind of mental block or something. So what I'd like you to do is please share the words in English that you can never spell correctly. There must be some. If I have them, then you have them. But looking at it in a different way, maybe as a native speaker, the stumbling points or the places which I always make mistakes with are probably kind of different from like a Japanese person who learned English as a second language. Maybe you have different stumbling points from me. So I'm really interested to find out which words you find difficult to spell and which letters or which parts of the word you find tricky. So I'm also wanting to compare them both as a native speaker and as a Japanese native speaker learning English. What are the differences? I think that should be really interesting. So please share your thoughts down in the comments. I'm looking forward to hearing from you.